This is Imam Malik Mujahid. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Mujahid Talks at Muslim Network TV. You can always watch us on Galaxy 19 satellite, Amazon Fire TV, and our own website, muslimnetwork.tv. And of course, tons of YouTube and Facebook pages as well. Well, congratulations to all the graduating class of 2020. Nobody could have predicted your final year is going to end this way. Classes remotely that and virtual celebrations of graduation. What is that? That was the magical time. That magic was taken away by the pandemic. But I am happy that you are safe and healthy and have graduated. The next steps might be a little delayed also due to the ongoing issues. It may be different than what you expected, but I am confident that you will be able to handle the world in a very good manner. Future of work, future of education, all has changed. And experts predict that it will continue to change. 40 million Americans right now, almost 40 million, or maybe a little higher, are jobless right now. They lost their job in just 2 months. And 1 in 4 New Yorkers actually is looking for food. 25% of New York, the largest city and the most powerful in the country, in the world, is at the mercy of others providing food. Scary times. 4 million people have graduated from college and looking for jobs at this moment, and a record 90% graduation rate from high school. 76% lower for Hispanic students, about 76%, even more lower, 68% for African American students graduating from high school. But overall, the country has set a record in terms of high school graduation. So this is the environment and this is the situation in which world is changing, and it has changed substantially, that you are entering college or entering job market. First, the pandemic and our response must show that that adults don't necessarily have all the answers. When you go on government website, look what are going to be future jobs and all that, they have old data. They haven't changed that yet. What is going to be job prospect? Second, we can only imagine how difficult it was transition from the traditional classroom with friends and buddies to remote, and now this graduation of a strange sort which has happened. Well, many schools have come up with creative ways of handling with you. I hope your schools were creative enough. So we have 4 different graduates, one from high school, and her name is Manal Sayyed. And Manal Sayyed says that I'm excited to be welcome, Manal Sayyed.
Hi.
Alaikum salam. She says, I'm excited to be an incoming freshman at New York University with an interest in double majoring in political science and sociology. Wait a minute. Political science and sociology, that's what I did. But with a minor in neuroscience and or a particular language. I'm extremely passionate about advocating for those who have not been given a voice or representation in modern day society. And I'll be going on to pre-law track. I'm excited to talk about how this impacts 2020 seniors. And as a Muslim in America, Manal, how are you?
I'm doing okay. It's been a roller coaster of emotions, but we're just learning to cope with it in this new world with a whole new system of communicating and doing huge celebrations like graduation, etc.
So how was what was the creative way your school was organizing the graduation?
So my high school decided to have a virtual graduation and it was on Zoom, but none of us could actually be on it. So it was more of a pre-recording and people gave their speeches. Two commencement speakers from our high school went on the stage a week or two before, recorded their speeches, and then they showed a yearbook picture of each student and announced their names as if we were getting our diplomas, but obviously that couldn't happen that day.
Oh, okay. So how did you celebrate?
So that I saw my friends from a safe distance and we all celebrated that day. And my parents celebrated me. They got me cake and I took pictures with them. So they made it feel as much of a graduation as it could be, but they did what they could.
Okay. Well, we're happy that you graduated. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we're happy that you uh, you're safe and healthy, and that's the reason all the graduations went the way they went. I myself don't remember ever being 2 months in my home. Always. So probably most of the world is like that. So why you're so you're already accepted at the New York
Yeah.
University, and New York is a dangerous place. People don't want to go there. Why you're going there?
Well, I grew up in Los Angeles, so I was born here in Aurora, Illinois. And when I was around 3 years old, I moved to Los Angeles and I lived there for 7, 8 years. So, and then I moved back to Chicago. But I have always been used to living in a very hustle bustle atmosphere. And it was also very important for me to stay or move to a city that had, a large density of that university had a large density of liberal arts and a more liberal atmosphere. So I didn't want to go to a school that was particularly more conservative, one could say. And I really enjoyed the metropolitan day to day life.
Oh, all right. So, well, why political science and sociology? What's the future there? Have you looked into what will be the job market like when 4 years from now, when you graduate from college?
Well, I know the job market will be less than ideal, obviously, but I am pretty sure that I will be going straight to graduate school, and I am inshallah hopefully hoping to go into law school. I have actually been in mock trial for 2.5 years, and it was one of the best times of my life. We were actually on track to go to the state competition and most likely win. But obviously, with the coronavirus, that ended, and a lot of our hard work kind of went down the drain. But that experience as a whole kind of taught me how much I love the law. And I think sociology and political science goes hand in hand with those skills.
Hmm. You mentioned that you know the passionate about advocating and voice and representation, and you mentioned as a Muslim in America. I mean, you hear about what happened in Atlanta and in Minnesota when a black person was
Yeah,
essentially murdered.
George Floyd.
And I was recently reading a story uh, that someone after 36 or 39 years on a false charge of that he raped someone spent 38 years or so much time in prison, got released. So are the things which motivates you to go in law?
100%. There is a huge obvious disparity. that is seen in our judicial and prison system, and with things that are constantly happening, such as Breonna Taylor and George Floyd, which you've been seeing in the news. It's very frustrating because many of those people's families have been suffering for months, and it has just come into the light. And I think it's very frustrating, and it brings up a lot of emotions when you realize that it's only due to people like Sean King that are even bringing it up to light. And without those people, it wouldn't have even been heard. And those are just the few. There are hundreds of thousands of other people who have struggled like this, but it's not brought to the media because it is not seen or prioritized as important. And I would like to change that as much as I can.
Well, that's a very prophetic path. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, his job description according to God Almighty, and so was the job description of all the prophets, was to
Thank you.
help people stand up, establish peace, justice, fairness, and equity in the society. So the noble cause, and I wish you well. But at the same time, I like to bring in a college graduate and see what and she's one of the college graduates who already has secured a job, what she thinks going to happen for you when you graduate in 4 years. So we have with us a college graduate, Deepika Godavelli, and she is a graduate of the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, who majored in computer science and minored in economics, and born and raised in Virginia. What were you doing in Illinois?
Well, University of Illinois is just a great school, and I remember visiting and just talking to the people there, and everyone was just so nice. So for that reason, and just the fact that it's a great school, I chose to go to University of Illinois.
All right. Well, you could have come to University of Chicago, where I went to. That's not bad either.
Yeah, that would have been great too.
Okay, Deepika, I mean, you have graduated, you have already have a job, and I think University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign is the place where they came up with the first browser for the website, isn't it?
Mhm.
I forgot the name of those guys. I used to know them. Okay, so it is a good school in computer science, definitely. So you already have secured a job, and in an environment, 40 million people have lost their jobs. So, what advice do you have for Manal, who is just entering college and thinking of law?
Yeah, I
Is it a
mean,
good idea?
I think law is a great idea. I think it's a really important job, and I think it's good that she has an idea of what you want to do right now. Because what I've seen is that it's probably a smart approach to just start planning from when you enter college, and then that way every year you can work on what you want to do over the summer and build up towards your dream career or dream like graduate school that you want to go to at the end of the 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Well, you both seems to be in agreement. Okay, so so what advice will you have as Manal goes through the school? I mean, one of the things which I'm reading, people who are talking about the future of job place and job market, one of the things they say is keep switching your job and develop overlapping skills. Do you think that's a good idea?
Um, I guess it's hard for me to say just as I'm entering the job market. Between switching the job, I think that can be an okay approach. I think what they're meaning by that is don't get stuck in any one job. If you feel like you're not growing, then move to a different job where you can learn new skills and keep building in that way. So I would say that is a good approach that you could use.
Hmm. Well, we will let Manal go, but after I share, I have 5 tips to share with people who are entering the job market or recent graduate thinking about future. And one of those thinking is to get ready to change job more frequently. You can do law, but at the same time, you want to study neurosciences.
Mhm.
Well, what is the connection? Are there some specialization, a niche you can develop? And so getting ready to change job more frequently as more people are jobless and robots are taking over, I mean, robotic surgery and things of this nature. So seeking co-ownership of your work related stuff, ensuring that you have access to your own progress reports, skills, training certification, overlapping knowledge of different field, the ratings which you get. I think you need to be more in control of your information. So wherever you go, that information goes with you. Well, Manal, congratulations once again
Thank you
on
so much.
graduation. Are there any plans to, when the things open up, to throw another graduation party?
Well, my high school is just hoping that things will do better than expected, and then inshallah they can do something in the summer. But as of now, they're just not sure.
Okay, I understand that. Well, thank you so much, Manal.
Thank
And
you.
you are listening, you're not listening to, I'm used to radio, so I'm saying you're listening to. You're watching Muslim Network TV, and we're talking about graduates. We're talking about graduates with graduates and their future. This is Imam Malik Mujahid, and this is Mujahid Talks. We'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back to Muslim Network TV. We're on Galaxy 19 satellite, as well as Amazon Fire TV, as well as Apple TV. And of course, on muslimnetwork.tv on our website as well. We're talking about future. What is future like? And we're talking with recent graduates. And with us is Deepika Godavelli, and she's a recent graduate from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign in computer science and minored in economics. And she is smart. I mean, 40 million people are jobless, and she has landed herself a job. Well, I hope you keep that job and keep growing in there. And we will bring another graduate at this moment. Her name is Guadalupe Carry On, and welcome to Muslim Network TV. Guadalupe, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
All right, you look happy at graduation. You worked hard.
Yes, I definitely was.
All right. She's a recent graduate at Lake Forest College, majored in biology, and and preparing now for MCAT and volunteering for not-for-profit clinic in Highwood. Well, Guadalupe, how was your graduation, and how was your graduation? Deepika, how did you guys graduate?
We had an online ceremony, so there was a short half an hour live stream that we got to watch. So I did that with my family, and then we celebrated by taking pictures and cutting cake.
All right. What about you, Guadalupe?
So we had two virtual ceremonies, one for all the biology seniors.
Okay,
and after that, we had a virtual ceremony for all of the Lake Forest College graduates. So I watched that with my family, which is pretty nice.
Okay. Just watching graduation, nothing like being in the graduation. Are they planning to have any physical one anytime soon for you guys to go back and have party?
As of now, we haven't gotten any date for us. They said they're looking into it, but I think it'll probably be some time before we can do that.
What about you, Guadalupe?
Yes, our graduation is scheduled for in October. So we will be having our graduation ceremony on campus during homecoming week.
Okay, all right. Well, with 40 million people who have lost their jobs in last 2 months, and in the largest city of the strongest country in the world, America, in New York, 25% people don't have enough to eat. Are you scared entering this world?
I think I think so. I think it's a really hard situation all around. I'm really grateful that nothing has happened with my job yet, but I know it's happened to a lot of people, and a lot of my friends are struggling as they're entering the job market. So I'm hoping we can all just come together in any way that we can, whether that's volunteering or helping people we know find jobs. But it's definitely going to be hard for the next couple months, maybe a year.
What do you think, Guadalupe?
Yes, I just as Deepika said, I completely agree with her. You know, living during these unprecedented times, it's pretty challenging. But fortunately, during undergraduate school, I was working as a waitress at a breakfast restaurant. So I don't have any undergraduate debt. So that's not something that I was worried about. I know a few of my friends are struggling with worrying about paying their student loans currently. But as I prep for graduate school, it definitely has shaped my way of learning as I wasn't adjusted to online learning. So just trying to get used to that, just in case anything else like this was to ever happen again, has definitely been interesting.
So, so this is very good news that you're graduating without student debt. Oh, very smart. How did you plan that?
Yes, I was very disciplined. I was working 2 jobs, typically during my summer breaks, and then also interning while doing internships. So it was pretty challenging, but I'm actually glad I did, because I would have never expected graduating and, you know, a pandemic like this ever happening. So I'm very fortunate that I did plan ahead, so I didn't have to deal with other kinds of stress that come with student loans.
Deepika, are you worried? You or your friends worried about the student debt as they graduate and the job prospects being the way they are?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fortunate in that my parents helped me pay for college and saved up for that. But I know that some of my friends have had some student debt, and I don't know, I think things are pretty uncertain right now, but I guess with time, we'll see.
Hmm. Guadalupe, are you applying for different job or you decided not to apply at this moment?
I actually decided not to apply because I am currently shadowing, and once this lockdown is lifted, I'm going to continue volunteering full time for a nonprofit clinic in Highwood. So I don't have time for that as of now. And of course, with the prepping for the MCAT, it's pretty time consuming.
Hmm. One of the advice which different experts are giving for the future job market is to continuously learning and establishing and demonstrating success and developing continuous learning habit to deal with what might come in future. So you have already, have that plan. It seems, Guadalupe, that you're thinking of volunteering in a field while studying for MCAT, and so you're working on a process of learning, taking advantage of this particular time. Is that what you had in mind?
Correct. Yes. I think it's good to, obtain good clinical experience prior to applying to medical school. And I've I interned for them 2 years ago and continued volunteering throughout undergraduate. So I will definitely get a little bit more hands-on clinical experience while working for them. So I look forward to going back and helping the Hispanic community, which is where this particular clinic is tailored for.
Okay. In Chicagoland area, I mean, you're in this area, media says there are more African American and more Latinos who are dying because of the pandemic. And you're entering in a medical field. You want to volunteer and you want to study. Why do you think that's happening, particular to Spanish community or minorities?
Well, I feel like because they are, low income, a lot of minorities are typically low income and unfortunately do not have health insurance. I believe because of that and the living conditions, they are definitely affected more with this pandemic than any other race. So I think that's a huge issue in America is our healthcare system. So in the midst of this pandemic, I decided that I wanted to do a little bit more rather than just become a nurse or a nurse practitioner, and thought that becoming a doctor could help me not only pursue a better career that I would find more fulfilling, but that I could do more for the Hispanic and minority community in general.
Also, so the pandemic and what is happening played a role in your decision to switch from nursing to becoming a physician?
Correct. Yes, I was undecided, and I was going to apply to Rush, Marquette, and DePaul for nursing for a master's program. However, with this pandemic that occurred, I was still very indecisive, and I wasn't sure if I still wanted to apply to medical school. But as I started talking more with the doctor at the clinic that she founded, I actually got more inspired into just pursuing a medical degree.
You're listening to Muslim Network TV. This is Malik Mujahid at Mujahid Talks. And we are talking with graduates about graduation and future of job market and things of this nature. We'll be right back after these messages.
Assalamu alaikum!
I love Adam's World because it makes me learn in a fun way. That Adam has a green face and orange hair. I like this song. I like how Adam sings. I like Adam's World because it makes me happy. What? No. 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 And here's Adam and here's Anissa. Adam and his sister. Adam is a boy and he is very smart.
Download the new Adam's World app at adamsworldapp.com and let's help tomorrow's Muslims today.
Assalamu alaikum! Open up your eyes.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, it's your brother Zain Bika from South Africa. One of the first educational programs ever produced for Muslim children was the ever popular Adam's World series. The colorful and comical Muslim puppet stole the heart of a generation. On April 6, 2020, Sound Vision will be releasing brand new episodes of Adam's World with the launch of a Adam's World app. Subscribers will enjoy new Adam's World episodes as they are released, as well as all the classic episodes of Adam's World. So visit adamsworldapp.com now to learn more, subscribe and enjoy new adventures of Adam and his friends. And let's keep helping tomorrow's Muslims today. Assalamu alaikum.
Adam's World. Believe me, there's a lot to see. Bismillah, let's explore.
Welcome back to Muslim Network TV, and you're listening to Mujahid Talks. You're watching it, and you can always watch us on Galaxy 19 satellite, as well as Amazon Fire TV and Apple TV, and of course on muslimnetwork.tv as well. Today we are talking with few graduates about their graduating class, as well as how the graduation was there and what are the future plans. Graduation is a magical time. Unfortunately, that magic was taken away by pandemic. But these are smart people. They are thinking smart, and some are wondering what type of future direction they will take. So, one of the question I have, Deepika, from you, you're going into the financial industry, working in a bank, and you have minored in economics. The job market, when you see projections, job market has more projection for computer science graduates as compared to graduates of economics. What do you think where you will be 4 years from now?
Yeah, that's something I've been thinking about myself as well. I started off college going as a computer science major, and I took some economics classes and just found that I really liked it. And I think working at a bank and in finance will allow me to kind of combine those interests for the next couple years. Um, I guess in terms of the job market, we've been seeing a trend towards, more computer science graduates being needed, and I think especially in terms of this pandemic and this transition to online learning and online jobs and working from home, those skills and computer science degrees are going to be really valuable. In terms of economics, I think it's a really broad subject. Like it can be very useful in looking at the job market and different ways that different sectors are going to change. So I think they're both pretty useful majors, and we'll just have to see, I guess.
So, what about your other class fellows at the University of Illinois Urbana who graduated in computer science?
Mhm.
Are they all, do all of them have jobs already lined up?
Not everyone actually. We're fortunate in that most of my friends, being computer science students, were able to find jobs, but there are still a few that are searching to find that full-time position. And I know that interviews have been delayed or rescheduled during this time as they can't fly people out to meet. But I think that definitely the people in computer science are having a little bit easier time as we're able to do a lot of work and showcase our skills virtually.
Yeah, computer science people. I mean, everybody, every Dick and Harry who never heard of Zoom is zooming around and it is turning into a verb. So IT people may have less of a problem, but but work environment has also changed. I mean, people are working from home,
Yeah.
and probably a lot of banking people because they may be working from home. So are the future place where you're going to start your job, are they already teaching you how to work from remotely from home?
Yeah, we've talked about how work is going to look like in the first couple months, and we're going to be having our work from home on Zoom as well throughout the day. And I guess we haven't done any like formal training and in terms of how to work from home, but they have talked about sending us resources and understanding how to set up a healthy work environment and make sure that we don't have any so-called Zoom fatigue.
Zoom fatigue, okay,
Yeah.
that also, I didn't realize that is born as well. So I was just aware of the zooming around, but the Zoom
Mhm.
fatigue is there also. I Guadalupe, you're entering, I mean, you're going to volunteer for a not-for-profit clinic. Does that clinic have all the personal protective equipment? Because, there is scary situation. My friend actually trying to save lives. He's a physician. He died while serving people, trying to save their lives. So does this clinic, have you visited that clinic? Do they have some equipment to protect themselves?
I actually haven't visited them because of this pandemic. They are being very careful with when the volunteers can start again. However, I have had Zoom meetings with them, and they have assured me that they are taking proper precautions to ensure that we are safe. Because, I mean, it's very difficult, even as healthcare workers, you still need to serve other people, especially people who are struggling during this time. As that clinic, about 99% of the patients there are uninsured. So we still need to provide services for those who are in need, especially during these times.
So, so clinic is already working, and they have a need for more volunteers. Will you be protected by some form of insurance while working there?
By insurance, no, but I will be provided with the proper gear to protect myself, gloves, hand sanitizer, a proper N95 mask.
Wow, those things are available to in a clinic in Highwood, but they are not available to a whole lot of people around the country in big hospitals.
Yeah, the doctor who founded the clinic is very fortunate that her father used to be a practicing physician, and they're pretty equipped with other resources, so they've been very fortunate.
Okay. So, Deepika, tell us, now that you have minored in economics, what is the future graduates from economics will be doing in this country while economy is all messed up?
Yeah, I think there's a lot they can be doing. As far as on the research side, I know that that can still be happening and is happening remotely. In terms of analyzing the job market, I think a lot of people are going to have a lot of different opinions and forecasts for what the economy is going to be. So definitely there's going to be some interesting discussions to be had in the coming couple months and year.
Well, nobody knew 2 months ago that this thing will happen, right?
Yeah.
So, is our economic, degrees in economics, do they prepare you for the sudden unknown?
Um, at least for me, no. None of my classes have really talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, the world is changing. I mean, this pandemic, while we are unable to provide protective gear to most of our physicians and nurses and healthcare workers, China has provided the same gear to 150 countries. So instead of America being the only superpower, China is emerging as a major superpower. World is changing into bipolar, and now we're putting tariff on them, although China is built on the consumer market of the United States. So they have so much surplus they have developed. So the whole economics of things are going to be changing. It is no longer our terms which we'll be able to dictate. We'll have to probably negotiate our way in the future. And do they teach in any of your courses about the factors like robots taking over? I was looking at the photo of a assembly line in Detroit, of auto assembly line, and the current photo does not have a single human being. It's all robots.
Yeah. I think we haven't talked about robots specifically, but we have talked about the role of technology and how it really affects the growth of the economy in different countries. And I think that example is a good example of how we can use technology to automate some of our machine processes that normally humans would have had to do.
Well, I'm surprised. I mean, for a school like University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, computer science and economics together are not talking about the future workplace where robots are going to control a whole lot of things. And it's already taking away the jobs. And so this is just surprising to me. It seems that the schools will have to think. I think the way education, last 2 months you will have to study from homes, right?
Yes, we've been studying from home.
So Guadalupe, the same with you?
Yes.
Yeah. So it seems that more education is going to be in this particular way, more screen time and stuff like that. So I'm surprised that if educational institutions are not going to prepare graduates, so what is going to be future job market? Who else will do that? But right here at Muslim Network TV, we'll keep talking about the future job market. Actually, we at Sound Vision has just started working on a project. It's a small, middle school level animation story, which robot plays a critical role. So it's about time that instead of just playing with robots as children, universities adopt people how to live with robots, how to control robots, how to beat robots. Without that, it's not going to go very far. You're watching Muslim Talks at Muslim Network TV. We can always watch us on Galaxy 19 satellite, Amazon Fire TV, and our own website, muslimnetwork.tv. And we are talking today with graduating class about graduation and future. A scary word. 40 million Americans have lost their job in last 2 months, and 1 in 4 New Yorkers looking for food. That is the largest country in the largest city in the strongest country in the world. We'll be right back after these messages.
We are Justice for All. Headquartered in the heart of downtown Chicago, Justice for All is a global humanitarian initiative dedicated to raising awareness for human rights concerns impacting vulnerable minority groups. We promote policies that protect religious freedom, address the root causes of mass displacement, and recognize the plight of refugees and forced migrants. Our diverse team of staff and volunteers led by Imam Malik Mujahid, work tirelessly to help Justice for All achieve their goals. Past campaigns covered a wide range of humanitarian concerns. Through Bosnia Task Force, imams and leaders of Chicago's Muslim community worked to ensure Bosnia became a top national issue. This led to life-saving American policies in Bosnia. A key accomplishment was helping to get rape declared a war crime. Initiatives also included Kosovo Task Force, Central African Republic Task Force, and Flint Coalition, which brought awareness to the water crisis affecting the people of Flint, Michigan. Highlights of our work include supporting Black Lives Matter, Parliament of the World Religions, addressing climate change.
So wasteful consumption starts the ruthless production, and that's where we need all the fossil fuel in the world.
And prominent media exposure.
This is Imam Malik Mujahid, President of Justice for All.
And I'm the Director of Outreach for Justice for All.
And that's why we need to go back to what worked.
Today we're demanding an apology from the CEO of Costco.
The Chinese crackdown on Uyghurs and other Turkic people has only gotten worse.
Current programs such as Burma Task Force advocate for the rights of Rohingya refugees in Bangladesh, internally displaced populations, and all those denied freedom of movement and at risk of starvation. Through this, we mobilized thousands of calls to elected representatives. This paved the way for the U.S. to increase funding for Rohingya refugees from $30 million to $210 million. Two of our documentaries were featured on international news outlets. The Rohingya People, A Slow-Burning Genocide on BBC World News, and Rohingya Refugees Tel Aviv Massacre was featured on CNN. We've organized rallies, UN mission visits, expanded presentations on campuses, promoted research and report writing, outreach to think tanks, media, and other influencers. Faith Coalition educates about the Rohingya genocide and crimes against humanity faced by ethnic groups in Burma. We've traveled to refugee camps, convened a meeting of Karen, Kachin, and Rohingya leaders, both to encourage cooperation and to guide them in congressional outreach. We organized Rohingya Advocacy Day. This led to over 100 participants visiting the offices of 60 U.S. senators and congressional representatives. Free Kashmir advocates for the people of Kashmir. Long-term goals include the call for self-determination, the end of the Indian military's occupation of the territory, and raising awareness of Kashmiri issues among the American people. After the August 5th reinvasion of Kashmir, we organized national protests in front of various Indian government buildings, partnered with Stand With Kashmir, and launched a petition condemning the Gates Foundation's decision to present Prime Minister Modi a humanitarian award. Save Uyghur informs Muslims and neighbors of other faiths about the ongoing cultural genocide of Uyghur Muslims and mobilizes public support. Our projects include boycotting Chinese products with our Fast from China campaign, pushing Bill S-178 in the Senate, and organizing a nationwide protest of Costco. Together, we can continue to stand up for justice. Justice for all.
Welcome back. You're watching Muslim Network TV. And this is Malik Mujahid, your host today. And with me are two amazing people, thinking people, Deepika Godavelli, as well as Guadalupe Carrion. And tell me this. We have discussed how your graduation was, not very exciting. So magical time was taken away. Hopefully, school will organize some major graduation when things open up. Just hold them to this promise. Ensure that your classes stay in touch and keep calling them. Hey, when is our real graduation? Virtual graduation is okay. Give us our degrees so we can work, but we need the real graduation. Interesting enough, I never cared. I never attended any of my graduation ever. I just mailed my degree. But for my children, I know graduation is a big thing, and I know all of you have graduation as a big thing. What is your advice, Guadalupe Carrion, for those kids who are entering college this year, this fall? What is your advice to them? You have been smart enough to think, well, instead of being nurse, I better start working and developing some experience and become a physician myself and help especially the Latino community, which has suffered in very unique way, and other minorities this pandemic. So what is your advice to people who are about to enter college?
Yes, my advice to students that are entering college, in the fall is establishing relationships with their professors, as, it will definitely help in the long term with getting letters of recommendation. And not only that, but also getting to know them personally. And I also recommend students to get involved on campus. There are so many activities and various groups that you can join where you can volunteer or help out or be part of different honor societies, which I was part of, which was really nice. It was nice to experience that during undergraduate, where I had better relationships with my professors because I was with them constantly, like working with setting up different events and stuff. So that was pretty nice.
And what is your advice, Deepika, for those people who are thinking now of getting into majoring in economics and computer science? I don't know how much hands-on they will be. The people are saying this pandemic may continue, and classes in the fall, maybe online classes. So what are your best tips for the best online education?
Yeah, I think going forward, it's important to pay attention to like majors such as computer science and economics that hopefully can still be successful during this pandemic and this work from home environment that we're trying to transition to. As far as classes, I'd say still go to your Zoom classes, try to make it as much as if you are going to them in person. It'll definitely be an adjustment, but I think as students, we should try our best to try and go to these classes and get as much from our education as we can during this time.
And as far as you, Deepika, will you be, while you have a job, will you still be studying something or learning something to enhance your future prospects? What will be your learning while you're not in a school?
Yeah, I think I definitely want to keep learning. I have a couple months before my job begins. And during that time, I want to definitely read more and then look more at different economic perspectives of this job market in this pandemic situation. And hopefully I can continue with those practices once I start work as well.
And of course, Guadalupe Carrion has already decided to continue learning, hands-on learning, as well as safely, that is, as well as preparing for MCAT. What advice will you give, Guadalupe, to those Latinos who just graduated from high school and will be entering college? What type of majors do you think you would like to recommend them?
I would definitely recommend students to look at what's essential, which I think is very important when you are looking into college, because it is a very expensive investment. But it's always important to look at something that, one, you actually enjoy, because it doesn't make sense to go into a field that you are unhappy with, because it should be your passion rather than looking at it as it's your job. And also, like, I majored in biology, which is nice because it allowed me to expand whether I want to going to become a physician assistant, do research, continue on, or apply to medical school or nursing school. So that's why I chose my degree, just because of the flexibility, and it enabled me to learn various science aspects as well as laboratory skills. So that's just something I would recommend students. I think, as did computer science, I think that's very essential, especially now as we're entering a world, where we focus a lot on technology and we like things to be fast. So I think that's good majors to look at. Anything in business as well.
Well, I would like to thank you, Guadalupe Carrion, for sparing a few minutes with us talking about the exciting time of the future. And thank you so much, Deepika Gadavelli. Happy for you. I hope you will get the real graduation which you deserve, although congratulations on real graduation has taken place, but the party is which is missing. So you could be with all of those people. I know it's an exciting time. Whenever there are challenges, those challenges make you think more, make you work harder. And your generation, I hope, is going to be a generation which will take America forward, freeing it from hate, fear, and anger, being more innovative and more competitive, making our democracy and our diversity work for everyone. So thank you so much, both of you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You're watching Muslim Network television, and future is now. Its future is no longer a thing of the future. Future is now. Job market has changed. Education is being redefined. Screen time has increased. And I hope you will remain productive during this time. I get few advice, which is not essentially my advice, but I invite parents and those who graduated from high school and entering college to think, and those who have graduated from college and wondering about the job market and have no job to look into. Just Google it, future job market or future of education. And I'm telling you, a lot of people are thinking about it. One place, very scientific information, if you look at a journal called Future, you will get some information there. There are a lot of projection, lot of ideas people are thinking about the future. I like you to be ahead of other people. So think about the future and do your best, and then depend on God Almighty and pray. So parents and fresh graduates, be ready for the job market. Keep thinking of multiple jobs, keep changing your job frequently, keep up your resume and your knowledge base and all the good letters which you might have gotten, and keep learning. Don't ever give up on learning, whether you have a job or not. Keep learning. Learning skills, learning degrees, learning something extra, and look for those employers who care for workers. Look for those people and help other. Share more and consume less. Help other people. And when you're helping, you'll become better. And keep up with the communication skill. Communication skills are skills which give you good job positions. And take care of yourself. There are a lot of pressure. Well, throughout the history, people have been under pressure. Pressure is life. And if you think smart, remain healthy, and worshiping God, one God, you will thrive and you will succeed. Thank you so much for watching today's show of Muslim Network TV. We're always there on muslimnetwork.tv, but also on Galaxy Satellite 19 and Amazon Fire TV and YouTube, Facebook, and always on muslimnetwork.tv. Thank you so much. This is Malik Mujahid, host of Mujahid Talks, signing off. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you. Stay healthy. Stay connected with human being and God Almighty. Peace. Salam.